What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab. It's me, Lone Fox, your BrewMaster in Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with an Orzhov control deck, or Orzhov mid-range, maybe? I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think this kind of category falls under once we jump into the brew. So without further ado, I think it's about time we do exactly that. So, I'm simply calling it Orzhov Slayer, and if you haven't been able to guess from the deck box already, that is because we are playing 3 copies of Kaya, the Intangible Slayer, new 7-mana Planeswalker from New Phyrexia. It's got hexproof static ability, which is pretty bonkers if you think about it. However, there are many things that deal with it, like Sheoldred's Edict, for example, and of course, Invoke Despair. But, you know, by the time you play your 7-drop, usually it's like quite late into the game, and we also have ways of cheating this out a lot sooner. You'll notice it's mostly kind of like a mono-white mid-range strategy that just happens to be splashing a little bit of black to have access to better removals. So, talking about removal, we do have 2 copies of March of Otherworldly Light and 2 copies of March of Wretched Sorrow. I've always really loved the Marches. The black and the white one, definitely my favorite of the 4. So I almost said 3 there because the green one just was basically inexistent until recently with the Rot Priest deck. But anyway, fantastically versatile, great in a control deck, great in trying to gain a bit of life with the March. This just handles enchantments and artifacts, of which of course there are many in the format. So just really loving having at least a couple copies of each of those in my control type decks that run these colors. Then, continuing with the removal, we do have 2 Go for the Throats and 3 Sheoldred's Edicts. Very nice, this one. I mean, the more I play with it and the more I play against it, the more ridiculous it is. Like, the flexibility, the ability to, like, let's just say, the thing that the opponent has on the board that's the more either going to be complicated for you to get rid of later down the line, or maybe there's a really, you might be able to, and this is an example that doesn't fit with this deck in particular, but just say you're playing like your mono black. This has happened to me often, and the opponent has managed to create a little 1/1 token with Wedding Festivity, but what you really want to hit when you cast the Invoke Despair is like his whatever bigger creature. Then before you cast Invoke Despair, during the opponent's end step, you sacrifice specifically the creature token that only leaves him with his creature, and then you can cast Invoke Despair. That type of thing. And the fact that you can also get them to sacrifice Planeswalkers gets around things like Kaya with the Hexproof, for example. So just the more I play with this removal piece and against it, like I said, the more impressed I am by it. So I've gone with 3 of. It's basically my main removal spell. Then, of course, we still got some Bankbusters here hanging out. I just can't seem to shake this habit. Of course, we need to quickly throw in a sneaky one of Mech Hangar, because why wouldn't you? Boop. Forgot about that. Then, onto the 3 drops. We've got a full playset of the Restoration of Eiganjo, which is going to help us find our white sources, which is what we need the most of in the deck. As you can see over here, we're running Invoke Justice. We've got a lot of things with 2 white mana pips, including Kaya. So Restoration of Eiganjo not only is a great way of discarding on Chapter 2 your Kaya Intangible Slayer into the graveyard so that it can be reanimated with Invoke Justice on turn 5, potentially, but also just a fantastic eventual threat once it flips into the Archetype of Restoration. Just can't say enough good things about this card. I've always liked it. Definitely of the 3 like most played of this cycle, there's the Fable, there's Jugan Defends the Temple, the green one, and then the white one, Restoration. Fable and Restoration are the ones that get played the most for sure, but I don't know, didn't get as much fanfare and hype around it, but it's definitely the second best one after Fable, in my opinion. And of course, we've rocking a full playset of Wedding Announcement. It's just such a great mid-range card, like the ability to potentially draw some cards, the chump blockers, you name it. Like, it's just fantastic. You can't do without it, it seems. Any sort of mid-rangey, controley type strategy that is running white, why wouldn't you play Wedding Announcement? It's incredibly good. Then we've got 2 Paths of Perils for some sweeper action in the early game, and a couple of 3 copies of Depopulate for some additional sweeper action as we move a little bit later into the game. So 5 total sweepers should do the trick. A couple of Legions to Ashes, really nice piece of removal in this environment. I've been finding it amazing against the Might tokens, against these toxic decks, because you can exile a non-land permanent. So that in and of itself, if it was just that, it's pretty good anyway. Like, it's basically just a void rain that can be countered. Any non-land permanent. Sure, it's sorcery speed, but like, you know, we can get rid of planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, you name it. But then occasionally you get to use, you know, take advantage of the additional bit of text there that says all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent also get exiled. So Power Stone tokens, treasure tokens, might tokens, any sort of thing like that, you can just zap them all in one go, which is obviously great. We've touched upon Depopulate. Got to play some Wandering Emperors in your white decks. It's just that good. So a couple Wandering Emperors. Was trying to find a way to squeeze in a third one, but I'm not entirely sure what I would cut. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Onto the 5-drop slots, we got a sneaky one of AO, which is obviously amazing. I love this card, always have, and I'm so happy that, you know, way back there was a time when AO wasn't standard as the same time as Vanishing Verse, and all of these Dragon Spirits were just completely useless in that format, because Vanishing Verse, they're all, you know, monocolored threats. They would just exile it. You wouldn't even get your death trigger, and now you've just blown 5 mana for no reason. Now, they tend to stick on the board a little longer. It's nice to have this aerial threat. When it dies, there's plenty of things we can go fetch with it. You know, Restoration, Wedding Announcement, Bankbuster, another Wandering Emperor. Plenty of things that we can grab with it. And I've also, in testing, used the second mode quite often, where, you know, you've managed to accrue a bunch of these little humans, and maybe you've got a few of the spirits from the Restoration of Eiganjo, and then you just put a +1/+1 counter on everything and grow the whole board and swing for the kill the next turn. And then bringing it back from the graveyard with Invoke Justice and just putting all the counters on it is also just a really great play. So kind of playing Invoke Justice as, like, I don't know, I've always only played this card in fully blown reanimation decks. Naya Reanimator, Boros Reanimator, all of these, you know, it's now making a comeback in this Atraxa reanimation deck that's making the rounds. But I wanted to just play it in, like, as a, you know, just a nice mid-range card where, you know, the opponent gets rid of your Wandering Emperor, gets rid of your Kaya. I mean, the real reason it's in the deck is because we're trying to occasionally discard a Kaya to the Chapter 2 of Restoration of Eiganjo, and then just Invoke Justice, bring back your Kaya. But that doesn't have to be used that way only. I mean, even just because it's returning a target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can just return a Wedding Announcement, return a Restoration of Eiganjo, and then you'd think, well, what am I putting all those +1/+1 counters onto? We don't have that many creatures. Well, I mean, even if it's just a human, you know, a little samurai that gets all the +1/+1 counters, even if it is an Architect of Restoration that gets those counters, or your AO, or, you know, you can even put them on your Bankbuster. You can put, you know, there's places to put them. So I've been finding it to be really, really good in the shell. So I hope to prove that to you by the end of tonight's gameplay footage. And then we wrap up with a a full playset, but with 3 copies of Kaya the Intangible Slayer. This is our top end, our main win con, our sort of control deck sort of payoff for stalling and all this removal and things. Eventually we slam a Kaya and we can try and win the game that way, just +2 until we drain the opponent to death. It is also a great source of card draw. I've used the -3 to reset our Bankbusters. I've used the -3 to exile tokens from the opponent's side of the battlefield, and then, you know, you can even exile their Sheoldred, for example. Now you get a copy of that Sheoldred on your side. Sure, it's a 1/1 white spirit creature token, but you still get all the other added benefits of Shelly. So, I mean, there's plenty of good shenanigans that we can do with the -3. Interesting that it's also enchantments. I've been thinking of doing things with, you know, the sagas, for example. Like, you could exile your restoration. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I still need to think about what other shenanigans we can do. The fact that it says exile target creature or enchantment. So you could, like, I don't know, like the Kamigawa sagas that come back as a creature. What would happen if you exile it when it's already a creature? Would you just get the copy of the architect, or do you get another Restoration of Eiganjo and it starts going through its lore counters of the saga? I still need to test that. So some shenanigans still to be explored with the -3, but it's really in here for the +2 and for the card draw, the 0. And that's the deck, really. I think we could probably do a few more shenanigans as far as the mana base goes, like maybe cut like one of each of the of these guys and throw in like a Mirrex, Field of Ruin, maybe a Blast Zone. I kind of like having the... Nah, we don't need the Takenumas to bring back. We've got Invoke Justice, so let's do that. I've been loving Mirrex as an alternate win con, and Blast Zone as well, just as an additional sort of little bit of a sweeper if necessary. All right, and that's the deck. Orzhov Slayer, sort of mono white with a little black splash, mid-range deck with Kaya on the top end. Let's jump do some games. By the way, I'm 2 matches away from Mythic, so I don't want to risk it. I'm going to just play in unranked, and then if it feels really comfy, kind of like we did in the last video, then we'll jump into some ranked at the end. But I'm going to hit Mythic first thing tomorrow morning. I've been slamming some filthy net decks up and down the ladder. Just I've got... and that isn't to say that this Orzhov deck isn't good enough for the ladder. Definitely. I've played it on ladder earlier, but since I'm just those 2 wins away, I want to just play, you know, the filthy net decks, and I'll get there first thing tomorrow morning, and then for the rest of the month, however short that period is, we're going to be playing Mythic no matter what the deck is. So let's jump into some games. I had a late check-in here at the lodge where I'm working, and my staff aren't working anymore, and we also had a massive thunderstorm, so I had to carry the guests' luggage in the rain down into one of the rooms. I'm all soggy. was not a good night. Interesting hand. 3 restorations, 2 wedding announcements. Wow. Interesting. Playing against Mono Black by the looks of things. Here comes a Graveyard Trespasser. No? Okay, so, I mean, this shuffler just works amazingly, doesn't it? I also couldn't cut too many basic planes to fit in these things because of the restoration. You still want there to be... Do we ramp? Or do we hold up the Eiganjo? Let's ramp. Because we did draw a Kaya here, so let's try and get to that as soon as possible. Throw down a chump blocker for the Misery's Shadow, even though it's probably about to get cut down. That's also cool. I wonder if he pluses or minuses. I wouldn't have done that personally. Edict, baby. So I think we just go for this Bye. Try and get out as many chump blockers as possible. Also kind of foretelling the very likely arrival of a Sheoldred and an Invoke Despair. Fine. This is a little bit frustrating, honestly, because of the exile. Now we, say we did get our Invoke Justice, which we do have the mana for. We need another black source to cast Kaya. Hey. Getting around 3 of these is not an easy task, and I kind of hope we top deck another black source so we can just slam Kaya and exile their Sheoldred with the -3. Would just be so sweet. That's okay. Why would you use my black mana? What if I... Oh my god, I really gotta watch myself with this auto tapper. Okay, so now we can't block the Obliterator until we find removal. Here comes the Invoke. Highly likely at this point. Oh, yay. Okay, he swept his own dude, so that's okay. Unfortunately, this won't do it because it deals damage. There's our second black source. So we have to let another 5 damage through, which is pretty scary. Getting very close to dying. Fine. Can't wait to -3 this dude. Pardon me. Of course, we let this through. Oh, what? He's just gonna leave it? Amazing. I want an Obliterator. Thank you. Now we turn the tables. Of course, Invoke Despair would be pretty devastating right now. Sure. This is a copy, which means it doesn't... All right. Typical sort of mid-range thing there. I'm starting to be a little bit less scared of the Obliterator. The only deck that I have troubles with, of course, is mono red aggro that runs, Lightning Strike and play with fire. If they slam one of those, there's very little you can do. But also big red gets around it just fine with the Cityscape Leveler and also the -5/-5 from the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. So not as terrifying as initially predicted. Although I still occasionally run into these Golgari decks with the fight spells. Jesus 77. Okay, that's cool. We'll keep it because when you play Mirrex, it can tap for a mana of any color. So we can still cast our Wedding Announcement on turn 3 if necessary. Let's go with Bankbuster. It's just, I find it hilarious. Like, these are the only 3 colorless lands in the whole deck. They're in the top 5 cards of your library, like 90% of the time. Fable? Wow. Throwing away 2 removal pieces like that seems a little bit extreme. Okay. It's a lot of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potentially. Maybe he's just gonna slam the new Planeswalker. Oh, nah. Oh, okay. It's probably gonna be Titan of Industry, so hopefully we draw one of our... Okay. That's nothing that I really worry about. That, on the other hand, is terrifying. Alright, we lost that one. Absolutely destroyed. Good game. I think, I mean, unless we find a... yeah, we find the Depopulate. We don't have the mana to cast it. Unbelievable. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, I won't do it. Nice. Very nice opponent. Polite clap for the person still trying to do some chaotic transformation. I never even bothered with this. It just seems so ridiculous to get to 7 mana, but these days it's really not as ridiculous as one would think. May have to give it a whirl. It was actually a pretty important card in the last Worlds. In the Explorer section, there was a whole team of players that was running a chaotic transformation. I believe it was Teamer. Reminiscent of there was that Luca deck that played a very same game plan with that other card. The name is now slipping my mind. You would just have creature tokens, exile the creature token, and then all you had was one other big creature in the deck, so you would always find it. Okay, looks like mono red. So Path of Peril looking very nice. That's the problem with unranked. People just scoop. How are we doing for time? Maybe we jump into some ranked, even though I hate risking it when I'm so close to Mythic like that. I just really want to get in there. I really gave it my all this evening to climb up into Diamond 1. If we get another couple of these type of like scoop straight away or weird like Salty Roper type opponents in unranked, we'll just switch anyway, regardless of my Mythic run. This artwork is freaking fantastic. By the way, which of the, this cycle with the sun is your favorite? Still undecided. I haven't really played with the black one much. And when I first saw it, I thought it would be the one. But More I play... Okay. Let's kick one Edict. I hate mulliganing twice. I always just... I mean, we've got the Restoration. If we just get another land, we're kind of off to the races, but... Okay, some sort of Orzhov Mire. Aha. Now, this is the... Of course. Make our land drop. There we go. Some sort of tokens. Sort of token strategy with LS. What you got? Wandering Emperor? Wow. Six. We're one away from hard casting Kaya, so I think I'll just let this through. He's probably gonna flash in an Emperor. I mean, an Emperor. You know what I mean. Kaya. You know, we've got to depopulate, so I feel pretty safe. And I love these Phyrexian lands, man. Gorgeous. Let's see if he has removal for the Bankbuster. Cool. That means we get... we can, you know, we have a permanent in the graveyard that we can reanimate with Invoke Justice if we want to. It's a lot of lands. Let's bring back the Bankbuster, actually. Sure. And if there was a time to depopulate, it was then, because next turn we'll have the Architect in play. But I still don't feel so terrified. 12 life is plenty in a control deck like this. Now we just need to find our Kaya. I somehow get the feeling that he's also just desperate for another black source, though. I wonder what's up his sleeves, if it's just a cleric deck. Aha. Fantastic. Bye-bye. Ooh. Let's get rid of this thing for good. Disturb or no disturb. You are gonna, my friend. Zombie Jeebus 88 with the Orzhov shenanigans. Uh-oh. Duress. Do you just scoop when you witness the power? Wow. Third copy of the aspirant. The veteran, beg your pardon. Okay. Definitely some sort of like clerics with some planeswalkers type of thing. Okay. Fine. Still no sign of Kaya. Alright. Alright. Let's play a game in ranked. This is too boring. Doesn't make for the most riveting content when the opponents just scoop for no reason. So let's play a game in ranked. Upper Diamond. See if we can't squeeze a victory out for the final match of the night. How are we doing for time? Yeah, depending on how long it goes, this may end up being the final match. Full concentration cap engaged. Kane. Seems great to me. Find it's best to just get rid of this thing ASAP. Even though we had to get rid of one of our invokes. It's fine. Okay, so this is the green-white version, not the green-blue version by the looks of things. Yep. Perfect. Found our fourth land for the Emperor, which is also great if he plays the bloated whatever the thing. There we go. This is also nice because we don't have to pay any life for the... Okay, now he doesn't have access to green mana to play Tyvar's stand. I think we'll just hit him with the Emperor right now, because he probably does have Tyvar's thing. Now he has to decide, does he want to keep applying poison, or does he want to hit my Emperor? Okay. That's one way of doing it. Okay, we are Bloodmasters. However, we have a Mech Hangar. We have an Architect. I've been running into this more and more. I wonder which content creator created this thing. Because now it's just all over the ladder. It's a lot more of it than I was seeing initially. I'm not entirely sure why he would have done that, honestly. Those are like your two best cards. Can he do this at instant speed? Not as far as I know. Maybe he's got Tyvar's stand or whatever it's called. Yeah, okay. It does seem like he's thinking he can do it. I haven't tested this out. Like, can he now? Oof, that's nice. So now what he gets back is a token, which we can sacrifice with the Edict. Or even better. Let's gain some freaking life, man. So he's gotten us to 5 poison. But his hand is empty. And we've still got Bankbusters. We've got removal. I think looking pretty good. Third copy of the Contaminator. As if we needed another one of those. Fortunately, wow. Blood Zone. Non-token creature. Now we swing. I want to get some card draw off of the announcement. Wow. 24 lands in the deck. I mean, okay. At least they're also flooding. We go for Takenuma and maybe we end up milling one of the Kayas. No such luck. Oh, that's also nice. Get another card. Okay. Bonkers, mate. Just bonkers. One, 2, 3, 4. Thin the deck even further. Draw another card off of the wedding announcement. Nice. Sorry, Mr. Toxic Deck. You got screwed, Zord. Ew. Another inch, another step closer to Mythic. Oh, maybe we get Mythic on camera. We're at the 40-minute mark. Do I risk it? Risk it for the biscuit. Let's stuff it. Let's go for a slightly longer video than usual. And hopefully hit Mythic on camera. Let's do this, baby. I'm feeling comfortable with this one. Lots of answers to everything. Unfortunately, the main card I'm trying to showcase here is Kaya. And we haven't really played it much, so maybe this will be the one. Playing against the Jade Cat. Very nice opening hand. On the play. Oh, come on, baby. Mono black. We have a go for the throat. Aha. Okay, the new Atraxa Rakdos, probably. Thanks to CGB. Let's go for the Restoration. In the deck of lands a tad. 3 Kayas in the deck. Let's love to top deck one for once. I mean, we've pretty much got the mana right now. Fable. Like clockwork. Another Fable. Yeah, I'm sick of this card, man. Now that Legion Stashes would have been freaking nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that in hand for sure. These people may be trying to reanimate something silly very soon. Swing a ding ding. Of course, we block. It gets to the point where they can hard cast an Atraxa just off of the treasures. CGB popularized something like this recently, so let's see. So that's a Flesh Gorger coming back. Almost certainly. Dude, wow. Question is, do we kill, do we pay the 7 life to kill the Flesh Gorger if he's running Cruelty of Kicks in the deck? I don't know. Maybe it would just be better to kill the Fable token. I mean, the Reflection, I beg your pardon. Don't forget, he can give the Fable haste with the Bitter Reunion. There she is. Can't kill her now because of the Gixes. The next chapter will just bring her right back. Pretty scary card. Let's see if we can't find one of our exile spells. He could have just given it haste right now with the reunion, so a little bit surprised by that. Okay. We've got 2 copies of Go for the Throat in hand. Very nice. I think... Oh, are you kidding me? How sweet is that? Whoop, whoop. Bye. Down to 4. Oh. GG next turn. I think we... Oh, did I just miss lethal? Oh, he's got the graveyard thing in hand. I think we could just maybe just have it anyway. Oh. Okay, so he's got the mana for the graveyard shift. So that's what he's going to do. No, he isn't? Dude, that's GG. Okay, now he's also got the go for the throat. But that's fine, I think. Still, kind of almost anything that we top deck like that is AO. Oh, baby, baby. Down to 1. Ladies and gentlemen. Do we get the Scoopy Doopy? Let's go. I think we just did it. I think we just did it, everybody. Yeah, I mean, that's it. He can swing for 7, but then we just exile it next turn. Oh, no, we can't. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. Close. Close, man. So close. That's 2 Atraxas gone. That's a bit frustrating. We've got the second copy of Invoke Justice in the deck. In the hand. We can even tap. He should have swept the Bankbuster. Yeah, that's game. I think that's game, right? Bye-bye. Mythic on camera, ladies and gentlemen. Not a BrewLab first, but maybe a BrewLab second? Gotta love it. Kicking some butts. Finally hit Mythic. Better late than never. And just a little over the 45-minute mark. Happy Lone Fox right here. I think with that we can absolutely call it a night. Jumping back into the deck with my final thoughts and overall review. I think we're onto something. Very nice deck. I'm absolutely destroying people. Like, you know, we did play a lot of unranked in the earlier part of the video, but I did test it in ranked before hitting record, and I was winning. I really like this, like, you know, just keep bringing the Kaya back. It's already hard enough to remove as it is, and if they remove it, you just bring it back. And then you've got so many answers to so many different threats. The card draw from the Bankbuster continues to just be phenomenal. I don't know what else to add other than give it a try and let me know in the comments how it goes for you. But that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all probably the day after tomorrow with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.